This was one amazing beak transformation, and I thought I would never see this bird again. His story made a heck of an impact, but then he disappeared. Now he's back, and this is Paco's freedom ride. This time, he's coming here to stay.
Hey, buddy. It's okay. Hey, Paco. Do you remember me, buddy? Hi. Come here. Hey, buddy. Hey. Hi. Hi, Paco. Do you remember me? Hi, buddy. It's good to see you.
The first thing I need to do is take off the excess length on this very overgrown beak. What I'm cutting away with these sharp sterile clippers is just like the excess length on your toenail or fingernail. And it's made of keratin, just like your fingernails. The middle part of Paco's beak is starting to get very dense, and I need to use some stronger clippers to get more off. A rotary cutting tool can also be used, but I'm a little bit nervous using those so close to an animal's face, so this is the method that I use. Beak thickening like this is usually indicative of an organ problem such as liver failure. When I first met Paco, it was in March, and his beak is almost as long as it was at that time. That is definitely not a normal amount of growth. I'll be getting blood work done at our avian vet to see what his liver levels are at and see what can be fixed. Parrots, especially Amazons, are prone to liver issues, especially when they're eating an all-seed diet. While seeds can be used as a supplement to a diet, they should not be the entire diet. They're very high in fat, and that's hard on a bird's liver. Over time, an incorrect diet can cause permanent damage. But with monitoring, medication, and supplements, the damage can sometimes be slowed, and the bird can also be made more comfortable. Because I'm trying to take off a lot of beak at once and do it quickly, I'm using a rotary bit with sandpaper. When using this type of bit, it's really important to keep it moving and keep the touch fairly light because it can heat up with friction. In this particular case, there's a lot of keratin here between the sander and the sensitive nerves of the beak. Paco is so incredibly at ease here. He's even letting me use my fingers to open up his mouth to get better access at the bottom part of his beak. The excessive bottom growth is what was causing his beak to kind of jut out, especially far from his face. I'm just continuing to remove a little bit at a time to get it back into a normal length, and then we'll worry about shaping it. As you can see, this process is creating quite a bit of dust, but I can use a damp cloth to keep the dust down and cleaned up as best we can. One thing that people often ask during these beak trim videos is, why is the bird not sedated? Or they think that it is sedated because of how calm it's behaving. Sedation and anesthesia is actually extremely dangerous for birds. It should only be used when absolutely necessary, such as in the case of surgeries. Many birds, especially debilitated ones, go under and they simply do not wake back up, or they suddenly crash a few days later. If I could do a beak trim that's completely stress-free, why would I not? This process doesn't have to be scary for the bird. I do this professionally, and I treat every single bird client with compassion and respect, and they know it. They can absolutely read the calmness in our voice, the gentleness in our touch, and the lack of stress that we're expressing. And I find that every fear-free grooming session leads to a better session next time. I'm now using a ceramic bit on my rotary sander, which is a lot more delicate and leaves a smoother, finer finish. The ceramic bit doesn't heat up like the sandpaper, so I'm using it for the closer quarters. These are the areas where I don't want to take off a lot of keratin, but I need to smooth and refine the shape. Next, it's time to remove the excess length on Paco's claws. I start out by taking off just a little bit, and I can progressively take off more. This makes it less likely to go too far and nip into his quick or blood vessel. Once again, I'm refining the shape of the nail using the ceramic bit on my rotary sander. Keratin overgrowth doesn't just manifest in the beak and nails. It can also manifest in the skin itself. This bird has built up excess keratin as calluses on his feet and legs. They're actually interfering with his very mobility. By removing the excess keratin carefully, I can actually help this bird get some of his movement back. Not only will this make Paco a lot more comfortable, it may also help him be able to move around his enclosure a lot better. I'm going to use some of my organic fair trade coconut oil to help soften his feet and smooth out these calluses. Studies have shown that coconut oil is naturally antimicrobial and antibacterial, as well as antifungal, so it's really beneficial for old, crusty feet. It's also going to help exfoliate and emoliate some of this dryness, and it makes it a lot more comfortable to get a foot massage when they're oiled. Naturally, parrots like Paco come from the Amazon rainforest, where the air is very humid and warm all the time. A lack of humidity can cause skin to dry out. I'll keep him on a moisturization routine that'll really help his feet. Next, I'm going to use some hemp oil, which is naturally anti-inflammatory and soothing. This hemp oil contains a parrot-appropriate amount of CBD, which will help him feel a lot better. This is something that I've started including as a routine for all of my older parrots, and I've really noticed it's made a difference in their comfort. Just like humans, parrots can get arthritis with age, and it progressively gets worse. They can be medicated, but again, medication can be hard on their liver. So for a bird like Paco that's already got a bit of a liver situation, medication may not be the right answer right now. But we're going to talk to his vet and see what the best course of action is. The nails on Paco's other foot are actually longer because he's not using this foot as much as the other one. It's been a long journey for Paco, but I'm glad that he's finally made his way back here to stay. When our paths crossed and then separated again, I had a feeling that we would meet again someday. And whatever the circumstances, I'm just really glad that I was entrusted to care for him for the rest of his life. Tomorrow, once he's had a chance to rest up, he's going to get a bath. I can't wait to see how beautiful he looks after that.